Welcome to the Pandemonium Witches podcast, where the ADHD has just a touch of the tism, where the true crime is just as scary as the hauntings and unsolved cases, and the hosts never stay on topic for long. I'm Kat.
I'm Rachel.
We are the Pandemonium. Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Also, hi!
Hi!
She's alive!
Time.
Long time no see.
I died.
Not literally. Not literally.
Okay, so like actually?
We're all dead, but we're all alive.
So recently, health problems. I went to the hospital on Sunday for multiple seizures. And
do that.
During one of my seizures, my heart stopped. So I actually crossed over.
And they didn't want you to send you back.
Yes. It was really funny. Aries was there, and he was like, literally, I wish I had a book, because it was so funny. Like, he was reading a book, and he just, no. And then I came back.
He's like, I don't want to deal with your ass yet. Go back.
And that was the same day I got my new tattoo.
Did you see? Yeah, she got a rat.
I have a rat.
Is it holding flowers?
Yeah.
He is holding puppies.
Oh, I love that.
The rat's addicted to opiates.
No,
because it's still it's still in flower form, so it's okay.
Okay.
It's rat.
It's
from
the seeds that create. It's the seeds that create the opiate.
Don't do that to rat.
Little life update for me. Got the camper cleaned out. Camping World came and got it. They offered mom and dad $5,000 for it because it'll take $15,000 to fix it.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's.
So mom's like, nah, bring it back. And the part that's causing the carbon monoxide alarm to be faulty and beep, it's a $45 part.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, you can order it and bring it in and we'll fix it. And she's like, no. Or I could order the part and do it myself.
Yeah, that's what I would do. It's $45 and like 20 minutes of labor. I'll do it myself.
Right. So mom's gonna offer it to the church elders again. So she was like, would y'all take 5 and y'all can just leave it parked out here and fix it up, because they're going to use it for one of their members just became homeless, so they're setting him up with the hotel room right now. And
good.
So once the camper is fixed, they're going to let him live there. Obviously not here at the house, but they'll move it to one of the church-owned properties and set it up so he can live there, because he's also a little mentally disabled. So like they actually I do like this church. I don't agree with everything they talk about, but they are actually doing their works of service. I actually agree with, which says a lot, because I don't always agree with a lot of the church's acts of service.
I don't agree with a lot of things the church do.
Right, same.
They're cosplaying love for Jesus. Which, speaking of Jesus,
did you see him too?
I did not.
Oh damn, that would have been fun.
I did not see Jesus. I did see Dionysus though. That was weird.
Listen, Dionysus is one funny bitch when you're on the other side. He
really is. It was weird. I was only there for I was gone for like 5 seconds only.
Like a blip.
Like 10 minutes in there.
Right. And did you see the lights?
Yeah, it was so freaking weird, but it was so cool. It felt
the lights.
So when you go over to the in-between and you're ushering a soul and you're going to either heaven or hell, whichever, or the in-between. This is the in-between. Where she was at was the in-between. And so
it was one of those, are you supposed to be here yet? Hold on.
Hold on.
You're not on my list yet.
Since I'm crossing souls over, I'm allowed to be there.
Right.
But if a soul isn't supposed to be there, the lights start to flicker, kind of like letting you know, like, something's wrong, come over here. And wherever
Kind of like they're surging.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever she was
A
at,
light bulb is about to die kind of flicker.
yeah. And so wherever she was at, there was that light bulb issue.
Which is why Aries was like, no.
Like, what are you doing here? No.
Turn around, go back. No, thank you.
Yeah, it was Aries. I don't know why Dionysus was there. I've never worked with Dionysus. King
just wanted
was
to say hi.
Yeah, it was the wine guy. King was there. King was very confused, but King was very tall.
What I told
very
you.
Naked.
I told you.
Very tall, very naked.
Daddy vibes all the way.
I could see many things about King.
Things you were not aware of before.
Oh! Damn, King! But yeah, it was off topic. Speaking of Jesus.
You good, Rachel?
Yeah.
I'm crying.
I'm laughing so hard I had tears.
I started my new job. Surprise.
Congrats.
I became workmates with one of my good friends at the hospital is very much into Jesus, and I'm like, yay, good for you, fam.
Your work bitch. I love your work bitch.
Yes, he the first time I ever met him, he was like, hi, I'm so and so. I'm God's favorite twink. And I was like, you are my best friend now.
I love it.
You've missed quite a lot of stories. So the one that you requested, the Wests, the murderous duo from Britain from the 70s. I did that. I did not realize how many spoons it would take from me.
I apologize.
It's okay. The story was done. But now we have a new thing that we have created. It is called Cunning Commentary. And after every hard episode, we're going to pick our favorite lines, which I already know what yours are. And I already know what Rachel's is. Favorite lines from the episode, and I'm putting it on the end bit of the last episode. So that way our listeners aren't completely traumatized.
They are 100%
But a little
going to be
less so.
traumatized. You get cannibalism. You get cannibalism.
So
traumatization, but just minor.
Minor traumatization.
Okay, so Fluffy was banging on my door. That's why I got up.
Uh-huh.
I opened the door to let her in. She turned around and ran down the hallway. Little bitch.
I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do the work.
I don't ever want to do the work today, but unfortunately, bills say otherwise.
I mean, yeah.
Speaking of work, y'all ready for the horrors?
They still persist.
The horrors?
No, not the horrors. Not the horrors. I'm not living in my old apartment.
Too, but the horrors still persist, but entirely different.
Listen, my roommate's not trying to fuck everybody on the planet, okay? So we're not living in my old apartment.
Okay, guys, I need another thing of Coke. We're getting round 2. I'm coked. I'm cookied. Let's get into this.
All right. So we're jumping over to England for this one.
Ooh! I love England.
So this takes place in the late 1800s.
Okay. Is it scary or is it haunted?
It's disgusting.
Ew. Okay. Yeah, well.
Do it.
This is a Pandemonium Witches podcast trigger warning. The following episode contains graphic violence and gruesome depictions. Listener discretion is advised.
So Apparently, I have this thing with picking serial killers that do baby farming.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
Man. Okay. All right.
So this episode is about Amelia Dyer.
Amelia Dyer.
So, yes, she was born in 1837, although the exact like month and day aren't available.
Okay.
So at least I got a birth year.
I mean, that's
her nickname was the Ogress of Reading.
What is it with ogres?
They have layers like onions.
Okay, look, Shrek. All right. So we talked.
She had layers, all right.
We talked about, what was it? Ed Kemper, who was the ogre of Santa Cruz, right? And then we talked about the ogress of Ohio. No, girl child is not allowed to come in.
That's what I figured.
I mean, she joined Sunday.
Yes.
When we're doing Los Spookies.
Yes, like if it's a Las Spookies episode,
yes.
that I don't mind. But like this,
serial killers, no.
But like
hard line.
She hears like,
yes, Kat. She's curious.
She's like, "What's up?" No, baby.
Like I only have the one good headset.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to put your ear right here, and then like we got it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh my god, when we first started the podcast. You remember that person?
I do. I remember.
All right.
Unpause.
Cut. All right, we good?
I think so. I think.
Okay. Fluffy has now joined the room.
Fluffy!
The emotional support floof.
Yes.
After she barged her way in.
There you go.
So she murdered infants in her care over a 30-year period during the Victorian era.
Just right into it.
Oh, this is the too long didn't read right now.
Oh, TLDR.
Mm-hmm. Like it's a chunk because 30 years.
Right.
So she trained as a nurse and then was widowed in 1869, not 19, a whole 100 years. 1869. She then turned to baby farming to support herself.
And we talked about it
because apparently it was the thing to do then.
Yeah, we talked about it on an earlier episode that's how people supplemented their income was by having these tiny shacks that they kept like dozens of babies in.
I don't like that.
Nobody likes it.
Someone who worked with kids, I don't like that.
We've all worked with kids at some point. Nobody likes it.
Anyone with a conscience wouldn't like it.
This is also true.
Like let's just put that out there. Any decent human being.
So she started off caring for the children legitimately, like actually caring for them, including her own 2 kids. So she had 2 kids. And so she's like, oh, let's do this and get it.
Pantalones. So she started out as a good person and then just slowly became corrupted, like the United States.
I wouldn't say she started off as a good person. She was trying her best.
You say what?
So she started off caring for the kids legitimately, which included her own 2 kids.
Right.
But intentionally or not, kids kept dying and while in her care.
No, the audio cut out. I heard her say the United States, and then you said, yeah, she's, and then it's blank, and I was like, She's the United States? Like, she's a whole continent?
She started out at least decently okay.
Uh-huh.
And then slowly got corrupted, kind of like the United States government.
Listen.
Fucking facts.
You're not wrong.
But did you say, like, her not kids started dying? Like, did I hear that right?
Intentionally or not, kids started dying while in her care.
That's what it was. Intentionally or not.
Okay, I missed that intentionally part. And I was like, huh? Hold on. Hold the phone.
And it led to her being convicted of neglect and given 6 months of hard labor.
Hold on, only 6 months?
That was when she was caught the first time.
Okay,
first time?
Remember,
Hold on.
this is over a 30-year span.
Okay.
She does end up dead, but...
Oh, shit!
Oh, no. Okay, we're done. Side note, I have to finish out this case of Coke, and then I can't buy anymore.
Yeah, no, we're not supporting Coke. Or Coke products.
What did I miss? I literally left for 5 seconds. Not even 5 seconds.
Like a second and a half. Coke was super cheap.
We're not supporting the Coke company and their products.
Which makes me so sad.
Once I get done with all of my 3 cases of Monster, I will not be buying Monsters anymore.
Wait, Monster's a Coke product?
They are, but they aren't. Coke has some shares in their company, and they're also the Coca-Cola company is how they are shipped.
Okay, let me look at their brand. Oh my god.
But the amount of videos on my TikTok from Latinas going, we're not drinking Coke, and they just pan to in the grocery aisle, and it's just wall to wall. All the Coke products are still fully stocked, and like on the Pepsi side, there's nothing.
Yeah, like I'm getting a whole bunch of Pepsi stuff now.
Right. So
I hate Pepsi.
Is Dr. Pepper Coke?
No, it's Pepsi.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper's Pepsi.
Honey, we're safe. Mr. Pip is
Mr. Pip is Coke.
That's fine. That's fine. Fuck Pip.
So Sprite is Coke.
You want me to read off the products? I have their products here.
It's a list, though. Well, alrighty.
You were saying the ogre.
The Ogress, yes. So this is still too long to read. She then started to directly murder the children she adopted by strangling some of them and disposing of their bodies to avoid attention. What?
The fuck?
She was also mentally unstable. There it is! And was committed to several mental asylums throughout her life. And she, despite suspicions of feigning, and survived at least one serious suicide attempt.
Oh.
So she wasn't all right. So her downfall came when the bagged corpse of an infant was found in the Thames River with evidence leading back to her.
Oh, not the evidence. Ow! Ow!
Tyr made an appearance and then stepped on him.
Congratulations! Way to go! You got stepped on by a pity. How do you feel?
It was painful.
But not the evidence.
Not the evidence.
Right. So she was arrested on April 4th, 1896. And in a sensational trial of the Victorian period, she was found guilty of the murder of the infant and was hanged on June 10th, 1896. At the time of her death, there was only a handful of murders attributed to her, but there's no doubt she was responsible for many more similar deaths. Possibly upwards of 400.
Holy fuck, that puts the other lady out of the water.
If not more, which made her a candidate for history's most prolific serial killer.
Okay, hold the phone.
She's not the most prolific. We already know who that is, and that's a bunch of Yahtzees, but that's besides the point.
Okay, but this is for one person serial killer, not a whole
Is it
gang.
bad? Like this I know it's bad to say this, and I apologize in advance. But is it bad that I want to make a tally of every single, what is it called? Episode we've done of like the people, like the amount of people they've killed, and rank them like by their number of like assumed victims and people they've killed.
So there is a list. It's on,
but like our list
of people we've covered,
of people we've covered, like so far,
and
so far
the
on the podcast.
Murders.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. If you want to make that, like, I can post it on our new Facebook page. Are you following the new Facebook page?
Hey guys, you should totally follow the new Facebook page.
Because you should.
Right?
Anyway, so over 400.
Yeah, or upwards of 400. Yes.
Okay.
Her case led to stricter laws for adoption and child protection, and helped raise the profile of the fledgling National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, or NSPCC, which was formed in 1884.
As like, it's terrible that happened, but as you should, new laws.
Right. All right. Now that we are... I am not a monster.
I think she was talking to me. I'm a monster. I'm a monster. Rah, rah, rah.
All right. So she was the youngest of her siblings. The amount of siblings she had was either 5 or 6. She had 2 sisters that died fairly young that were both had the same name.
Mm-hmm.
So one was older, one was what was supposed to be a younger sister. Younger sister died at like 6 months. Older sister died at little bit, she was still a child.
Okay.
But Victorian era, kids die, unfortunately. All from, now treatable diseases. But she had 3 brothers for sure. Thomas, James, and William. So Amelia was born at Pile Marsh, which is east of Bristol, and was the daughter of Samuel Hobley, who was a master shoemaker, and Sarah Hobley.
Okay.
Amelia learned to read and write and developed a love for literature and poetry, which for the 1800s, it's still really good, especially for a shoemaker's daughter.
Right. They tend to not make a lot.
Right. Like you'd be able to read like the bare basic things. But to be able to do poetry and literature, that says a lot.
I mean, for a woman, especially in that time too,
right?
Like girls typically didn't go to school.
So her childhood was ruined by her mom, Sarah, becoming mentally ill due to typhus. So her mom, the disease affected her brain, and so her mom had violent fits, which Amelia witnessed, and Amelia was obliged to care for her until her mother died in 1848.
Wow.
So because she was the youngest, she had to care for her mother. So that fucked her up. Researchers later commented on the effect this had on her and what it taught her about the symptoms exhibited by those who appear to lose their mind through illness.
Like syphilititis.
Yeah.
Swiss cheese brain.
And unfortunately, typhus, was fairly rampant then.
Right.
So after her mother's death, Amelia went to live with an aunt in Bristol for a time before serving an apprenticeship with a corset maker.
Okay.
So, I mean, because she probably had skills from also helping her father, because he was a shoemaker.
Right.
Her father died in 1859, so almost it was 11 years after her mother. So
A bit of time. Yeah.
Yeah. Her eldest brother Thomas inherited the shoe business, and in 1861, at the age of 24, Amelia became permanently estranged from at least one of her brothers and moved into lodgings in Trinity Street in Bristol.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't find out why, because, that was minor details lost to time.
Mm.
So after she moved there, she then met and married George Thomas. George was 59, and they both lied about their ages on the marriage certificate to reduce the age gap.
Wait a
Oh my
minute.
god, what were the ages on the certificate?
I gotta know.
Amelia added 6 years to hers. George deducted 11 years from his.
Oh my god.
The sheer caucasity is on sale.
Well, because she was 24 when she moved into the lodgings.
Right.
Talk about a gold digger.
So let's say at least like 25. And then he's 59.
Yeah.
That's
quite a bit.
Parent-child
Yeah.
relationship age.
Right.
So after marrying George Thomas, Amelia then trained as a nurse. From contact with a midwife, Ellen Dane, she learned of an easier way to earn a living by using her own home to provide lodgings for young women who had conceived illegitimately, and then farming off the babies for adoption or allowing them to die of neglect and malnutrition.
The whole thing about the horrors, they still persist.
Yeah.
This is disgusting.
So, a little side note of that.
Ugh.
Unmarried mothers struggle to gain an income since the 1834 Poor Law Amendment Act had removed any financial obligation from the fathers. So, whilst bringing up their children in a society where single parenthood and illegitimacy was stigmatized. So this led to the practice of baby farming, in which individuals acted as adoption or fostering agents in return for regular payments or a single upfront fee from the mothers. Many businesses were set up to take in these young women and care for them until they gave birth, because after a certain point, it's obvious and you got sent to the countryside.
Right. It's not just a little bit of weight. She's putting on a little bit of weight. There's only so much
Right.
clothing can hide.
Exactly.
Unless you dress like Adam Sandler, in which case.
Yeah.
But this is back then.
So the mothers subsequently would leave their unwanted babies to be looked after as nurse children, because the nurses take care of the children.
Right.
Noisy or demanding babies would be sedated with either easily available alcohol or opiates. Godfrey's Cordal, known also as Mother's Friend, was a syrup containing opium. And it was a frequent choice, but there were also several other similar preparations. And so because of this, many children died. And there was a quote, opium killed far more infants through starvation than directly through overdose. Dr. Greenhow, who was investigating for the Privy Council, noted how children kept in a state of continual narcotism will be therefore disinclined for food because they're not hungry, because it's a deapatant, and be but imperfectly nourished. Death from severe malnutrition would result, but the coroner was likely to record the death as debility from birth or lack of breast milk or simply starvation. Or another one was failure to thrive.
So, yeah, no, it was noted back then if babies were unable to, gain the weight that they needed to. It's in today's terms, too, failure to thrive.
Right.
Like,
tongue ties or lip ties would prevent the baby from being able to nurse.
And cleft
palate.
Mm-hmm.
The lactose intolerance, because they didn't have baby formula then. So if you couldn't drink milk, they would take a piece of bread and sop it in water and feed it to you that way to make it a mush.
Yep.
So yeah, it's not surprising that infants died when lack of
nutrition.
Thank you. I was looking for the word.
You're right.
Lack of nutrition, but also some of them were doing the best they could with the information at hand. Because the medical field has come a long way, guys.
Oh yeah. Exponentially so.
So in 1869, the elderly George Thomas died, and Amelia needed an income. So they weren't married for very long.
Sounds like it.
Because 1861, she moved. So maybe 8 years.
Okay.
So Amelia was keen to making money from baby farming, and alongside taking in expectant women, she advertised to nurse and adopt a baby in return for substantial one-off payments and adequate clothing for the child. So basically, you have to provide the clothing for your children.
Right.
And I will take them for one lump sum. In her advertisements and meetings with clients, she assured them that she was respectable and married, and that she would provide a safe and loving home for the child.
No.
I mean, it might have started off that way, but it didn't end that way.
Right. I don't think, yeah.
So in 1872, Amelia married William Dyer, so second husband, who was a brewer's laborer from Bristol. And they had 2 children together, Mary Ann, also known as Polly, and William Samuel.
Okay.
Amelia eventually left this husband. Because I guess she wasn't happy. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
At some point in her farming career, because that's what I'm going to call it now.
That just, it sounds so innocent when you don't know the history behind it. Just,
right?
she was a farmer.
Yeah, she was a farmer, right?
Corn kids. What?
She grew them in her cabbage patch.
Jesus.
The cabbage patch. Cabbage patch knees?
No! We are not talking about my knees, okay? Listen, I already have a complex. All right? When I run, I have to literally kick my legs to get off the couch because I'm too short and my legs don't touch the fucking ground. And he goes, run, baby, run. Run, baby, run. No!
Guys, slow down. I'm short and I'm a frozen margarita.
I'm gonna bite your fucking kneecaps, bitch.
I
Shit.
dare you. If you can reach them.
She just has to knock you down and then attack you.
I do. You
Let's
don't
go.
listen.
I do jujitsu.
Your ankles pop, bitch. I know exactly where to hit.
And I do jujitsu. I'm better on the floor.
That's what he said.
What even is this episode? I'm crying.
Oh man, this is gonna be hilarious for our listeners.
I feel so sorry for you editing this.
I don't. Are you kidding? I have a literal folder that says special clips, and it's just random. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Wait, there's more.
Billy Mays here.
Literally, I will find like random phrases that we say, which is what the last clip was made up of for the last episode.
Fuck yeah, concrete.
Fuck yeah, concrete. Fuck yeah, feminism. And I was like, no!
You get a lobotomy.
Electroshock therapy.
Therapy. See,
that
that's
actually
what
was good
I'm
in the
good
clip.
for. That's what I'm good for, okay? I'm good for the like witty one-liners.
I was
That's
like,
all I'm here for.
I was like, Rachel, I think she's gonna try to make it this weekend. I'm pretty sure. Because she's actually
like, yay, more clips.
She's like more audio commentary. And I was like, you guys are making my life hell when it comes to editing, let me tell you.
I told
you.
you.
Love us.
Listen, I will not apologize for being
hilarious
the ass master.
Yeah.
I will be a weapon of ass destruction, okay?
All right, let's go back to the murders.
Yes, and not ass destruction.
Oh, no death by dick. Got it.
I mean, can kill you, just...
So, back to the baby farming and the cabbage patches.
So, at some point in her farming career, Amelia decided to forego the expense and inconvenience of letting the children die through neglect and starvation. And soon after the receipt of each child, she murdered them, thus allowing her to pocket most or all of the money.
This is the Hatbox bitch all over again. What's her name?
Right.
Minnie?
Yeah.
Fucking
like
shit.
I said, I don't get why I wasn't picking the...
Listen, I was like, go ahead and pick whichever ones. And we have like little snippets. Too long didn't read what they are about. And I'm just like, Lupin. I'm just like,
So for some time, Amelia eluded the interest of the police. But she was eventually caught in 1879 after a doctor was suspicious about the number of children's deaths he had been called to certify in her care. Because doctors have to sign off on it.
Ma'am, you may be a man, but that's quite a few babies that are dying.
Right.
What's going on?
Yeah, seriously.
However, instead of being convicted of murder or manslaughter, she was sentenced to 6 months of hard labor. Which hard labor back then
was hard.
It was definitely hard, yeah.
Yeah.
Like men were sent out to do the road works, breaking rocks, moving stuff.
Railroads, like
right.
Shit like that.
Women
imagine.
Women, it was
oh, I bet you I could look it up.
Doing cleaning, laundry, sewing, cooking, and some of the harder cases they were given the harder aspects of the jobs, like having to do cleaning but with a small brush, or instead of like a bigger stone scouring brush.
See, I love how like we think hard labor for men, you know, like obviously we know what it was because there's like
there's records of it.
There's records of it, but for women there's really nothing. It's like, oh, they just had to, I don't fucking know, so you know, it like there's no records of hard labor for women. Where's the
Because,
feminism?
I mean,
Non-existent. But
yeah.
but like I can definitely believe like using like the heavier like stone brushes and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And so they would give them little short things, so it took them longer. So that way it would
Oh yeah.
they would have to do twice as much work. So the experience allegedly almost destroyed her mentally. Although others have expressed at the leniency of the sentence when compared to those handed out for lesser crimes at the time. Upon release, she attempted to resume her nursing career, but she had spells in mental hospitals due to mental instability and suicidal tendencies.
Girl, same.
I've had a grippy sock vacation, but it was like 2 decades ago.
I almost had one recently.
I've not had one, but sometimes I think I probably should have.
Did I know Rachel knows the story, right? Emily, I don't think you do. Did I tell you about the time my mom was talking about buying yoga socks that had grips on them? She had to pay like $30 for them. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, you had to pay for them. I got mine for free. And my cousin's like, what? And I was like, yeah, from the hospital. My mom's like, Catherine. And I was like, what? I got the help I needed. Just saying.
Right? When you have to be like, I'm seriously just kidding. Like, I have dark humor, guys.
Right.
So like I had said in the chat, the therapist, we were talking about something and she was like, you seem like you have a lot on your plate. And I said, oh yeah, you know, I'm working 3 jobs, I'm raising 2 kids, I'm going to college, I want to kill myself for legal reasons. That's a joke. That was a joke.
Yep.
That is not my snap.
That is not your snap. That's your Instagram.
I love that. I'm gonna follow your Instagram.
You're on my Instagram.
I am. I'm not smart.
I just tagged you guys.
Oh, you did. Bum bum. It looks like my microwave is requesting another sacrifice.
Child.
Give me the child.
Okay, there's my snap.
There you go.
Perfect. All right. Anyways,
back to the topic.
So these always her trips to the mental hospital, it was always coincidental that these were the times when it would be convenient for her to disappear. Oh, shit's getting a little too hot. I'm gonna just dip out for a little bit and come back. And being a former asylum nurse, she knew how to behave to ensure a relatively comfortable existence as an inmate. So she was playing the system. She began to abuse alcohol and opium-based products early in her killing career, and her mental instability could have been related to her substance abuse.
Right.
Or, you know, she got it from her mama.
She got it from her mama.
In 1890, she was caring for the illegitimate baby of a governess. When she returned to visit the child, the governess was immediately suspicious and stripped the baby to see if a birthmark was present on one of its hips. It wasn't, and a prolonged suspicions by authorities led to Amelia having or faking a breakdown.
Wait. Did she switch out the baby?
Yeah, because she was killing them.
Right.
She would get the babies. She would get multiple babies and go, okay, these 2 look alike. I'm going to kill one and keep the other and just pass it off between the 2.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but like you gotta do better than that. If one has a birthmark, you gotta at least mimic the birth. Right. For legal reasons, that is a joke.
But like, she had no way that the mother was going to completely strip the baby down to see if, because, okay, you're just here to visit your child. Okay, cool. The baby's clothed. You know,
Right.
and then they spend a little bit of time with their child and then they leave.
Maybe I'm weird, but I would do that. If it's with a person that I've only met like once or twice, I don't know what you're doing to my kid.
Right.
But I'm that kind of mom. I'm that overprotective mom. Like,
Yeah.
when my son was itty bitty and he was with a babysitter, the first thing I did when I went to pick him up was, hey, I think I got to change his diaper. And I would strip him to check for bruises.
Mm-hmm.
Before I even left that house.
You know, I did that with the baby.
Yeah, with the boogaboos.
Well, yeah. Because I knew that something was happening.
And it just, some moms are like that. Some moms aren't.
Right. So, Amelia faked a breakdown. Or she might have legit had one. And I don't know. She at one point drank 2 bottles of laudanum in a serious suicide attempt, but her long-term use had built up her tolerance to opium products and she survived.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Drugs are bad, okay?
So when she got out, she returned to the baby farming and to murder.
All right, guys, got to bring the cows home.
They're gonna be cows.
Oh no, Judas, no! Amelia realized the issue of involving doctors issuing the death certificates and began disposing of the bodies herself. Because that was how she was getting caught.
Because she was doing it, yeah.
Because she was having them sign off on death certificates. So that way it was plausible. Oh, your child died. I'm sorry. Here's the death certificate and all their things.
Which is probably why it's speculated that there's over
400. Because she's just like, I'm going to just cut out the middleman and start dumping the bodies myself.
That is so fucked.
Yeah. So the precarious nature and extent of her activities, again, prompted undesirable attention. She was under the attention of the police and of parents seeking to reclaim their children. She and her family frequently relocated to different towns and cities to escape suspicion and to regain anonymity and to acquire new business. Over the years, she used a succession of aliases. Because they're looking for one person under this name, but nobody's going to think different if you use a different name because...
Emily. She's just like, so she moved pastures to...
Essentially, yeah. Yes. So in 1893, she was discharged from her final committal at the Somerset and Bath Lunatic Asylum near Wells.
Oh, great.
Not Wales like the country. Wells as in like dig a well.
Ah, okay.
Sounds similar.
Thank you for taking your meds. Also, listeners, if you have not taken your meds, take your fucking pills. I did.
Take your meds, hydrate or die straight.
Oh no, can't have that.
You guys can't see this, but she's huddled. She was huddled over her freaking cup.
Inhaling her drink.
Inhale.
I wasn't inhaling. That would cause dry drowning.
That's valid, but bathroom break. Because we will pick this back up when she gets back. It'll give me a moment to catch up on the notifications in the group chat.
So Yes, we can watch Tier. Let's see.
He's always a good boy. What you mean? It's whether or not he stays on the bed or not while she leaves the room.
Seriously.
Is the question. Oh no, I was laughing at Dr. Sister.
Also, new intro. Yes. So we do have a new intro because of everything that's going on in Emily and Meg's life. I've asked them, you know, do you guys want to step away for a bit until you guys can come on more often? And since it's just been me and Rachel for, what I want to say, like 6 months?
Mostly. Feels like it.
Yeah. So I went ahead and changed the intro because Emily and Meg are only on here sometimes. So
for those episodes, we will have them.
I'll add them in.
We'll use the old. Yeah.
I'll add them in. It's still going to be the new intro because we had a brownout here and I was working on fixing the intro and adding new music to it, and I lost everything. I lost audio. I lost sound clips. Luckily, for Christmas, our beloved Rachel bought me an external hard drive, so we love her for that. Because without that, I would have literally lost everything.
Right.
Because it was not plugged in. That is the only reason. The intro and the outro were saved on my hard drive, on the actual computer. So I was just like, son of a bitch. But yeah, I've been editing my book and it should be released February 25th.
I can't wait. So Shauna's making me a ring.
Really?
Yeah, so she found a little sapphire.
Oh, cool.
And so she had posted it on her Facebook. To, you know, do a ring. And I was like, oh man, I love sapphire rings.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I also love garnet rings, but that's because that's my birthstone and I'm a little attached to it.
Right.
Especially the darker red it is, the more dark like my soul it is.
Your soul is not dark. You are like one of those little soot sprites from freaking Studio Ghibli. You're like, chaos, me consume me, but I need nuggies.
And so I'm just like, it is dark, like blood. I love it. So
I love that for you.
I had commented, I was like, oh, is this still available? And so she answered back last night that it was. And I was like, oh, okay, I would love it. And she's like, send me a message for your ring size and I'll get you a price quote. Sweet.
Yep. That's great. I love that.
So also she's having issues with her gray water tank, unfortunately.
Oh, again? She just fixed it.
So now there's a leak.
Oh, great.
And unfortunately, there's no access panel to her gray water tank.
Of course.
It's cracked, and so that's the issue. Is so now it's her floor is wet.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I was laughing about, and I felt bad until she reacted about it. So then it made me feel a little bit better with her friend John. Because he originally was like, I'll send you the address. I have a lift. Like, we can get it taken care of.
Right.
And then he also was like, I would pour some kind of coating in the tank, then 10 donuts to the left and 10 to the right. Repeat if desired. And she's like, stop. And he's like, you don't understand, officer. I was just trying to coat my tank.
Oh my God.
I was dying.
Oh, so I talked to Josh about Living Tiny, and he agreed that we were going to get that bus made by the
company.
Yeah, and I'm stoked.
I can't wait for you.
I can't wait either. Like, the fact that I've done this research, and I did it like 10, 12 years ago when I started the research. And now I almost have that credit score set. I'm going to pause. Oh, welcome back.
Oh no, she hurt her back.
I mean, I didn't blow it out, did you?
My
No.
back.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, but my back blows itself out. So
It made a wet crunch.
Oh. Oh. Sylvia, hello.
So what'd I miss?
a lot.
A lot.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, we took a
No, it's
break.
fine.
We took
Oh,
a
thank
break
God.
because murdering of babies is a lot for me to
Yeah,
digest.
baby murder makes my ass itch.
But no, but what I said earlier was I just happened to look up and you were just kind of standing over there in the doorway. And that's why I started laughing. And I was like,
T-posing.
okay. Okay. All right. You ready?
Yep.
Ready, steady, go. Okay, so she tried to off herself by an opioid, but fucking drug use went, fuck you, bitch, no.
Was like, I'm sorry. Please try again later.
The person
So-
you are looking for is not here.
This is not the droid you're looking for.
These are not the droids who are looking.
So she then decided to cut out the doctors signing the death certificates because it started gaining too much suspicion. Because why are we having to come to your house so often to sign these things? Like,
Right.
It's like every Tuesday, guy. What are you doing on Mondays?
so 1893, she was discharged from her final stay at the lunatic asylum. But unlike previous breakdowns, this had been a most disagreeable experience, and she never entered in another asylum. So they treated her like shit there and didn't let her get away with shit. And so she's like, not doing this again.
It's not supposed to be fun. Oh, that's so cute.
I love it. So 2 years later, Amelia moved to Caversham, Berkshire, accompanied by an unsuspecting associate, Jane Granny Smith, whom Amelia recruited from a brief spell in a workhouse, and Amelia's daughter and son-in-law, Polly and Arthur Palmer.
Something bad's gonna happen.
This was followed by a move to 45 Kensington Road, Reading, Berkshire, later the same year. Jane was persuaded by Amelia to be referred to as Mother in front of innocent women handing over their children. This was an effort to present a caring mother-daughter image.
Nope.
In January of 1896, Evelina Marmon, a popular 25-year-old barmaid, apparently she was popular, gave birth to an illegitimate daughter, Doris, in a boarding house in Cheltenham.
She's definitely popular if she's popping out babies.
Right. She quickly sought offers of adoption and placed an advertisement in the miscellaneous section of the Bristol Times and Mirror newspaper. In the miscellaneous section.
Good God, that's like going to the free section of Craigslist.
It's her ad simply read, "Wanted, respectable woman to take a young child." Evelina intended to go back to work and hoped to eventually reclaim her child. Coincidentally, next to her own advertisement was one that read, "Married couple with no family would adopt a healthy child, nice country home, terms £10."
So wait, so they're asking people to pay them to take their kids?
Yes, because that's how it worked.
I hate this. I hate all of it.
Evelina responded to a Mrs. Harding, and a few days later received a reply from Amelia. From Oxford Road in Reading, Mrs. Harding wrote that I should be glad to have a dear baby girl, one I could bring up and call my own. We are plain, homely people in fairly good circumstances. I don't want a child for money's sake, but the company and home comfort. I and my husband are dearly fond of children. I have no child of my own. A child with me will have a good home and a mother's love. Basically playing,
quote unquote, devil's advocate.
I was going to say playing the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Evelina wanted to pay a more affordable weekly fee for the care of her daughter, but Mrs. Harding insisted on being given the one-off payment in advance. Because weekly payment, that means you have to keep my child alive. Otherwise, you don't get your money. Evelina was in dire straits because she just had to take off time off work. Like, she literally lived paycheck to paycheck. So she reluctantly agreed to pay the £10, and a week later, Mrs. Harding arrived in town. Evelina was surprised by Amelia's advanced age and stocky appearance, but as Amelia was affectionate towards the baby, Doris, Evelina handed over her daughter a cardboard box of clothes and the £10. Still distressed at having to give up care for her daughter, Evelina accompanied Amelia to the train station and then on to Gloucester. Evelina returned to her lodgings a broken woman because, yeah, she just gave up her child. A few days later, she received a letter from Amelia saying all was well, and Evelina wrote back but received no reply.
Of course not.
Amelia did not travel to Reading as she had told Evelina. She went instead to London, where her 23-year-old daughter, Polly, was staying. There, Amelia quickly found some white edging tape used in dressmaking, wound it twice around the baby's neck, and tied a knot.
Thanks, I hate it.
This next part. Death would not have been immediate.
No, don't say that.
And she was later said, quote, I used to like to watch them with the tape around their neck, but it was soon over with them. It was soon all over with them.
I feel sick.
I hate you a little bit right now.
Oh, I missed like 40 minutes ago when we were laughing.
Right. Her daughter then helped her mother wrap the body in a napkin. They kept some of the clothes that Evelina had packed, and the rest was destined for the pawnbroker because they were going to sell the clothes. Amelia then paid the rent to the unwitting landlady and gave her a pair of the child's boots as a present for her own little girl. The following day, Wednesday, the 1st of April, 1896, another child named Harry Simons was taken to the house. However, with no spare white edging tape available, Amelia took the length from Doris's body and used it to strangle the 13-month-old boy.
Jesus Christ.
On the 2nd of April, both bodies were stacked into a carpet bag, along with bricks to add weight so it would sink. Amelia then headed back to Reading and stopped at a secluded spot she knew well at Caversham Lock. She forced the carpet bag through the railing into the Thames River.
Mm-hmm.
Unbeknownst to Amelia, On the 30th of March, 1896, a package was retrieved from the Thames at Reading by a bargeman. Wait. If she killed him, that doesn't make sense.
The math ain't mathin'.
Oh, okay. So like 2 days before, or 3 days before, apparently she had done this with another body. A little girl identified as Helena Fry, but Amelia did not weigh the bag down adequately, and so it was easily spotted and retrieved. And the small detective force available to the Reading Borough Police, Detective Constable Anderson made a crucial breakthrough, as well as finding a label from the Temple Meads station in Bristol. He used microscopic analysis, which was huge. Like, this is not even like 1900s yet. Like, this is all breaking detective work.
Right.
Used microscopic analysis of the wrapping paper and deciphered a faintly legible name, Mrs. Thomas, and an address.
Oh.
So this evidence was enough to lead the police to Amelia, but they still had no strong evidence to connect her directly with a serious crime because they have probable cause. They just don't know for what.
Right.
Additional evidence they gleaned from witnesses and information attained from the Bristol police only served to increase their concerns. And the Detective Constable Anderson with Sergeant James placed Amelia's home under surveillance.
Oh, shit.
They're like, all right, we watching it. We don't know what we're about to find, but you're lots of red flags here.
Right.
Subsequent intelligence suggested that Amelia would leave if she came at all under suspicion. Well, yeah, of course. She's got a pattern there. The officers decided to use a young woman as a decoy, hoping they would be able to secure a meeting with Amelia to discuss her services. This may have been designed to help the detectives to positively link Amelia to her business activities. I wouldn't call it business, but okay, her murder activities. Or it may have simply given them a reliable opportunity to arrest her.
Of course.
Well, what happened is that Amelia was expecting her new client, the decoy, to call, but instead she found detectives waiting on her doorstep.
There it is.
On April 3rd, it was Good Friday too, the police raided her house. They were struck by the stench of human decomp, although no human remains were found.
Sounds like a really Good Friday if they raided her house.
Right.
Oh, yeah, it was Good Friday.
Sorry.
It was, but it wasn't. Because that smell, that human decomp smell. There was, however, plenty of other related evidence, including white etching tape, telegrams regarding adoption arrangements, pawn tickets for children's clothing, receipts for advertisements, and letters from mothers inquiring about the well-being of their children. So, the police calculated that in the previous few months alone, at least 20 children had been placed into the care of a Mrs. Thomas, who is now revealed to be Amelia. It also appeared that she was about to move homes again, this time to Somerset. Because she's like, all right, getting too much attention here.
Right. Time to move. Yeah.
This rate of murder has led to some estimates that Amelia may have, over the decades, killed over 400 children and babies. But they're not sure because they, no bodies.
Right.
But also, if they had the bodies, it would have been well, what was this was due to neglect or actual intent, and what was just actual failure to thrive.
Right.
So, April 4th, Amelia was arrested and charged with murder.
There it is.
Her son-in-law was charged as an accessory.
Wow. Okay.
So, for the rest of April, the River Thames was dredged and 6 more bodies were found, including Doris and Harry Simons, which were Amelia's last 2 victims.
Right.
Each baby had been strangled with white tape, which she later told the police was how you could tell it was one of mine.
So she was, in a sense, marking her victim.
Nope. Mm-mm.
11 days after handing her daughter over to Amelia, Evelina, whose name had emerged in the items kept by Amelia, identified her daughter's remains.
Oh my God.
At the inquest into the deaths in early May, no evidence was found that Marianne, Polly, or her husband, Arthur, had acted as Dyer's accomplices. Arthur was discharged as the result of a confession written by Amelia. And so she wrote to the magistrates, to the court. Sir, will you kindly grant me the favor of presenting this to the magistrates on Saturday, the 18th instant? I have made this statement out, for I may not have the opportunity, and then I must relieve my mind. I do know and feel my days are numbered on this earth, but I do feel it is an awful thing drawing innocent people into the trouble. I do know I should have to answer before my Maker in heaven for the awful crimes I've committed, but as God Almighty is my judge in heaven and on earth, neither my daughter, Polly Ann Palmer, nor her husband, Alfred Ernest Palmer, I do most solemnly declare, neither of them had anything to do with it. They never knew I contemplated doing such a wicked thing until it was too late. I am speaking the truth and nothing but the truth, as I do hope to be forgiven, and I alone must stand before my Maker in heaven to answer it all. Witness my hand, Amelia Dyer. April 16th, 1896. So basically, she was trying to actually save her daughter and her son-in-law. Like, I was the one that was doing this.
For that, yeah, but the damage was already done.
Right. You can't unsketch this sketch.
It's like trying to put toothpaste back in a tube. You can't.
Right. All you're going to do is make a bigger mess.
Right.
So on May 22nd, 1896, Amelia appeared at the Old Bailey, which, the Old Bailey is the Central Criminal Court of England and Wales. So basically, it's a courthouse. And so she pleaded guilty to 1 murder of Doris Marmon. Her family and associates testified at her trial that they had been growing suspicious and uneasy about her activities. And it then emerged that Amelia had narrowly escaped discovery on several occasions. Evidence from a man who had seen and spoken to Amelia when she had disposed of the 2 bodies at the Cavensham log also proved significant. And her daughter gave graphic evidence that ensured of Amelia's conviction.
I hate
So
it.
yeah, we're just going out with a bang.
It's seriously with a bang.
The only defense Amelia offered was insanity, as she had been twice committed to asylums in Bristol.
Right.
However, the prosecution argued successfully that her exhibitions of mental instability had been a ploy to avoid suspicion, and both committals were said to have coincide with times when Amelia was concerned her crimes might have been exposed.
Right.
You want to hear how long it took the jury?
Yes.
1 hour, 30 minutes.
What's your guess, Kat?
I'm going to say about 20. Maybe 5.
4.5 minutes to find her guilty.
Oh,
That's gotta be a record. That's gotta be a fucking record.
Right?
In her 3 weeks in the condemned cell, she filled 5 exercise books with her last true and only confession. 5 books.
5 books. Yeah.
5 books. Are they displayed anywhere? Like, are we able to read any of those? I want to know what's in those books.
I'm sure they're probably somewhere.
It's been a minute since you said this bitch's name. What is her name again?
Amelia Dyer.
Amelia Dyer.
Dyer.
Dyer. Amelia Dyer right there. How do you spell her first name?
Amelia.
I will get back to you. Oh.
Okay. Something popped.
Right.
It wasn't your back this time.
Yep.
Hold on. I went into search dog mode. Just
okay. Well, while you're doing that, when a chaplain visited her the night before her execution and asked if she had anything to confess, she offered him the book, saying, "Isn't this enough?"
No.
Curiously, she was subpoenaed to appear as a witness in Polly's trial for murder, set a week after her execution date. I don't think she's making that appearance. However, it was ruled that since Dyer was already legally dead once sentenced, and that therefore her evidence would be inadmissible. Thus, her execution was not delayed.
Oh, good.
On the eve of her execution, Amelia heard that the charges against Polly had been dropped.
Well done.
Amelia was hanged by James Billington at Newgate Prison on Wednesday, June 10th, 1896. Asked on the scaffold if she had anything to say, and she said, "I have nothing to say," just before being dropped at 9 a.m. precisely.
I applaud that.
Right. It is uncertain how many more children Amelia had murdered. However, inquiries from mothers, evidence from other witnesses, and materials found in the homes, including letters and other babies' clothes, pointed to many more. Her whole case created a scandal. She became known as the Ogress of Reading and inspired a popular ballad.
Oh, what?
The old baby farmer, the wretched Miss Dyer, at the Old Bailey her wages is paid. In times long ago, we'd a made a big fryer and roasted so nicely that wicked old jade.
All right.
Yeah. Didn't say it was good.
I was going to say.
It was just popular, I guess, then. So, because of all of this, adoption laws were made much stricter and giving local authorities the power to police baby farms in the hopes of stamping out abuse, which is good.
It's very good.
Despite this and the scrutinizing of newspaper personal ads, the trafficking and abuse of infants did not stop.
Right.
2 years after Amelia's execution, railway workers inspecting carriages at Newton Abbot, Devon, found a parcel. Inside was a 3-week-old girl, but though cold and wet, she was still alive. She was the daughter of a widow, Jane Hill, and had been given to Mrs. Stewart for £12. She had picked up the baby at Plymouth and then dumped her on the next train. It is claimed that Mrs. Stewart was Polly, the daughter of Amelia Dyer.
Oh my God. That I did not see that one coming. Okay.
Same just making fun of.
Me.
I was gonna send you what she looked like.
God damn. She aged like milk.
Okay, she looks like my Aunt Irma. She just needs a mustache.
And that's her other photo.
Good God.
So the first one was the police photo after her arrest in 1896.
Mm.
The other one was her entry to the Wells Asylum in Horrington in 1893.
Oh.
3 years difference between the two photos. And also lighting, but yeah, she
was grisly.
Yeah. I'm not surprised that the books got destroyed. Like, a little sad, but not
Right.
Yeah,
surprising.
like I searched. I went back to page 10 of Google. 10.
That's quite a bit away.
That
Right.
is dedication. Going past page 1.
Uh-huh.
And it's raining. And it looks like the test of time was not good to the books.
Yeah, I figured.
Plus statute of limitations
Mm-hmm.
is, now a thing. So they were too, like, I guess badly done to be donated or something. So even if they do have them, it's not like they're gonna put them out. So it's one
Right.
of those, everyone is speculating they've been destroyed. I mean,
understandably though.
Right.
minus the things that are in crime museums right now, like murders from like the 17 and 1800s, like there's no evidence left.
Right. Between decomposition of the materials and
time.
Because they probably would have gave her a pencil to write it in, because they weren't going to give her a pen and ink.
Yeah.
Because they were inkwells.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they weren't going to give her that. So you got a pencil and paper.
Right.
And if they did give her like some sort of inkwell, it was probably like the fucking ye olden quill.
Right. It wasn't going to be anything good.
Right.
But yeah, no, that's Amelia Dyer.
Okay.
She deserved to, Dyer.
Yes.
So.
She deserved her death.
Deserved the Dyer of the Spire, but she died by hanging.
Yes.
So.
You know what? I hope she fucking suffered. I hope she didn't die instantly.
Did you know?
I hope that rope was white.
Did you know? Hangings. I know this.
Tell me.
Okay, so did you know most of the time with hangings,
it takes a while.
It takes a while to die. So, have you ever seen the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus?
Yes.
Okay, how he used to put that pipe down his throat when he would get quote unquote hung.
It was to keep his airway open.
Keep his airway open, because once the airway started to close, it constricted the what's the word? The larynx?
Trachea?
Huh? Trachea and the windpipe would break first, and then the neck. You okay? Did Crush just scare you? Oh my God. So that being said, she probably did have a very painful death.
And I hope that rope was white.
Yeah?
Yep.
Why?
Because the tape she put on those poor babies was white.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I was like, why white?
I know.
Seriously. I was thinking, like, I hope that rope,
I
wasn't the right length. It wasn't too long, but it wasn't too short.
Right.
It wasn't right either.
I hope they did the illegal hangman's knot.
I mean, it was the 1700s, so probably, or the 1800s, so yeah, probably.
Good.
All right. Well, that being said, thanks for today, Rachel. I hated it.
You're welcome.
Don't do stupid shit.
Stay safe.
Stay feral, guys.
Bite the hand, guys.
And we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Next time on the Pandemonium Witches.
Ding, ding, ding. Why would you
We're
insult
talking about
cows like that?
murder.
Seriously, we're talking about murder. What's wrong with you?
A lot of things. You want alphabetically, chronologically, or when I got diagnosed?
It's home of the longest natural bridge east of the Rockies, which, if you don't know, natural bridges are the ones that animals use for migration.
Okay.
Claims to be an epicenter of hauntings and paranormal activities. This road was built on a Cherokee burial site.
God fucking damn it! Leave the Native American burial sites alone.
Dr. Drish died in 1867 after a fall from the top of the stairs while drunk.
I love it when the trash takes itself out.
You know, you would think.